Now, we haven't even had the election yet here in the United States, but already concerns are going to its aftermath and the potential for anarchy on the streets. However, don't panic. Facebook is on the case.
We need to be doing everything that we can to reduce the chances of violence, civil unrest in the wake of this election.
The social media giant is reported to already have a slew of emergency measures that are being planned. Facebook has already promised to slow the spread of viral content, to lower the standards of what's considered an inflammatory post and gets suppressed, to tweak the news feeds of what users see, and furthermore, to suppress dangerous posts in such circumstances.
There's some content that needs to be removed, and there's some content that needs to not have access to the Facebook tools that create virality.
Facebook does not have the best record when it comes to this kind of thing. These are the same tools that were deployed in Myanmar. Facebook was accused of inflaming hate speech in the country. That was back when forces cracked down on Rohingya Muslims, and it got very ugly. The United Nations has actually called out Facebook for not stopping the widespread calls for violence and the hate speech that encouraged and emboldened those who were ready to kill.
I'm afraid that Facebook has now turned into a beast and not what it originally intended. It has substantively contributed to the level of acrimony and dissension and conflict, if you will, within the public. Hate speech is certainly, of course, a part of that.
In 2018, Facebook was once again called out for inflaming anti-Muslim riots, this time in Sri Lanka. Facebook has apologized for both circumstances, saying that they were wrong in Myanmar and in Sri Lanka. But now Facebook's approach to American politics is being scrutinized. Facebook decided to suppress the reports about Hunter Biden and his shady dealings in Ukraine, drawing anger and outrage from Republicans.
I think they're a threat to democracy when you can shut down the flow of information, when you can censor what millions of Americans would see. That's a threat to democracy.
Facebook says this was all done in the name of fact-checking. So, with a controversial election and fears of violence in the United States, will Facebook repeat its pattern of behavior and fan the flames, making things worse? Or will its newly discovered art of censorship save lives and restore calm?
Well, they are censorship, and they've been warming us up to this for a very long time. It's not only censorship at this point. This is them letting us know that they are going to decide how the conversation goes. They are going to, we should entrust our power into them because they're going to protect all of us from mean posts that they, I guess, believe are going to stoke violence in the aftermath of the election. So it goes beyond just the censorship we're used to. This is them saying we are going to control the conversation. We are going to control what happens in this country, what you see, what you hear, and what gets out there. It's next level. One of the things about these organizations is they look down on the American people. We know this. They think the American people are stupid and violent. And they think that they have to protect us from ourselves. They think that they have to protect us from our own speech of our neighbors, our friends, our coworkers, and the public figures and news organizations that we want to hear from. So they're nannying us. They think that they're doing some sort of ultimate good. And of course, anyone who thinks that they are capable of doing such good, that's classic like dictator mentality, isn't it? Thinking that you know what's best for everyone else and you will use every tool at your disposal to make sure that your idea of what's best and what's appropriate is the only thing that gets out and shaping how people think and speak.